Designed by John Moses Browning, the FN 1910 pistol was really state-of-the-art for its day. It's also the gun that started the Great War.
The Fabrique Nationale Model 1910 was yet another in a string of firearms designs by the greatest firearms designer, John Moses Browning. And this was during a period where he was very active in introducing the semi-automatic pistols, the auto-loaders as they were known. Also a time in that early 20th century when the auto pistol was evolving as a viable and in many cases superior replacement to the revolver as a repeating handgun. The Model 1910 differed from previous Browning designs in that it had the recoil spring wound around the barrel, and the appearance difference is very dramatic. The classic Colt semi-automatic pistols have that slab-sided look of the Colt Model 1911. The Model 1910 has a very sleek, rounded barrel appearance. It's something that we've come to think of as a modern-looking pistol, and this was not something that Colt chose to produce. They already had a good Browning design in 380 ACP. Their Model M was very successful for them. So Browning went to Fabrique Nationale of Belgium to produce this. And the Model 1910 became a very popular pistol for the European market.
The Model 1910 pistol, it's a nice lightweight little snappy design. It's got kind of that robust construction that was so typical of pistol design from the turn of the 20th century. And to look at this little pistol, you would not think that it is responsible for the deaths of 14 million people, but in a way it is. Because on June 28, 1914, a Bosnian Serb by the name of Gavrilo Princip used the FN Browning Model 1910 and 380 to fire 2 shots. What followed after that was a process of cascading mobilizations of the armed forces of every nation in Europe. Now, Gavrilo Princip was a member of the Black Hand. It was a movement that sought to establish independent, free provinces in the southern part of what would ultimately become Yugoslavia. They sought to do this by agitating for independence from the Austro-Hungarian nation. Austria-Hungary occupied parts of Serbia, and Austria-Hungary had at times attempted to maintain political and economic control of what would ultimately become Yugoslavia, to include Serbia itself. And the Black Hand was active in this agitation process during the summer months of 1914, at a time when the Archduke of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Francis Ferdinand, with his wife, Sophie, the Duchess of Hohenberg. During their visit, the two, in their motorcade, happened to cross the old Latin Bridge in the old town of Sarajevo and pulled up in front of a delicatessen where Gavrilo Princip had positioned himself. There had been 6 assassins associated with the attempt to take Archduke Francis Ferdinand's life that day, and Gavrilo Princip, age 20, was only one of them. He positioned himself outside of this delicatessen just off of the Latin Bridge, and Archduke Francis Ferdinand's open-top motor car passed by, making a wrong turn, and then they reversed course. Gavrilo Princip stepped outside of the delicatessen, and then from a distance of 5 feet, he fired 2 shots with his FN Browning Model 1910 and 380.
The assassination led to a demand of Serbia by the Austro-Hungarian Empire that the Serbs did not respond to satisfactorily, and with Austro-Hungary's ties with Germany and Serbia's ties with Russia, this eventually led to the beginning of World War I. So it was, in effect, a 1910 FN pistol that was used in the assassination that led to the outbreak of World War I.
The 1910 pistol was a result of the collaboration between John Moses Browning, greatest firearms designer ever, and Fabrique Nationale in Herstal, Belgium. FN started producing guns of the Browning patent with the 1899, then the 1900. The 1910 is an improved version and more familiar, more modern. It's really a sleek, streamlined pistol. The recoil spring for this gun was moved around the barrel. No longer did you have some sort of goofy protrusion up above the barrel. Very, very modern lines.
In 1922, a slightly larger version was introduced. Became known as the Model 1910-22. It was also offered in the 32 ACP and 380 ACP chamberings. And as the Model 1910 became a very popular commercial pistol throughout Europe, the Model 1910-22 became a very popular military and police pistol throughout Europe. In many ways, the FN 1910 was the beginning of a generation of the very sleek pocket pistols, popular both in Europe and in the United States. That concept of the recoil spring around the barrel was later used in such classic designs as the Walther PP, PPK series, and the Russian Makarovs.